Have you started a social media account for promoting your business or your services, or maybe you're a wannabe influencer, but recently you feel a bit stuck, a bit unmotivated, and completely out of ideas? This video will help you see through the mist, give you new and engaging content ideas so that you get results and you don't give up. I'm Mairead, I'm a life coach, and I set up my YouTube account to promote my coaching business, but also to share tips and guidance to other small YouTubers who, like me, are trying to stay consistent and want to increase their subs and their views. So feeling stuck when it comes to creating content is an issue close to my heart. It doesn't come naturally for me. I do find it a struggle. And what I'm really struggling with is not just needing the time to film, because it takes a lot of time, unfortunately. I'm still not there yet, but also writing my ideas down and getting a script and getting it right. I really do struggle with that. What I want to do is share my 3 tips for how to make your content engaging, but also just feel fresh. So the most important thing we need to do is get clarity for ourselves, so that we can make our messaging as clear as possible for the audience. They'll know exactly who you are, what you're about, what they can find on your channel, and what they'll get from investing their time in watching your videos. If we can get all these points right, then you will create content that people will be really engaged in and interested in, because it'll be relevant to them. You will have made something that they want to see. And when you do that, the algorithm pushes, and your views go up, 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 up. I don't always get it right myself, but when I have, I've had over 3,000 views on my videos. So I'm getting there and I'm tweaking it, and I really need to stay consistent to keep building and growing. So yes, life has got in the way the past few months and I haven't been as consistent as I'd like to be, but I'm starting afresh. And what I've done today is I've created a script today, but it's much more minimal than what I would usually do. Normally I type up word for word, and it's just too hard to remember. It's too overwhelming and things get lost, points get lost. I go off on a tangent and it's not as clear as it should be. One thing I want to discuss just before we go into the 3 key tips is on the subject of clarity. You need to be so clear on who your audience is. You need to know exactly who they are and what they want. You need to know, because if any of your messaging to this audience is blurry, it's not going to make sense to them. They're not going to be as interested, they're not going to be as engaged, they're not going to follow you or watch your video for very long. But when you can get clear on who your audience is, then you can create the perfect keywords, the perfect type of content. Like, is your audience very time sensitive, so they can only watch shorts, for example, or they want long form content? Think about things like this. Really go into detail. I'll use my coaching for an example. I work with ambitious women who might be struggling with their confidence. They want a challenge in life, they want to break out of their comfort zone, and it's not exactly easy for them. So I tailor my content around what they could be struggling with on a day-to-day basis. It might affect their career choices and they just stay in a job that they don't enjoy, but they're financially stable and that's good enough for them, even though they might work in a toxic environment, not even enjoy the work, have a long commute, all these things that are just not good for your well-being, but we tend to put up with. So there's an example of how I would tailor my content around those needs and experiences. If you're a YouTuber with a small following, it is so important to get your messaging right and really think about that. Think about your audience and what they want to hear from you. Right, let's get into the tips. My first tip is to consider your audience's or client's reality. When I've made this video, my target audience is other small YouTubers, And I just thought about, what are we all struggling with? I'm in the same boat, and I'm really struggling with creating content. So this is what has led me to this video, for example. So think about what they're struggling with, and then look at what already exists on YouTube, what kind of videos, and go into the comments. See what people have said and what their feedback is on those topics. You will get so many great ideas, and you will have your keywords, because these are the words that are used by your audience, and you've already got the search terms now. So this is perfect to set you up with being more SEO friendly. And this is also just a great way for you to get a bit of motivation and enthusiasm back into your channel, for example. Whenever I do this, I feel really excited about what I found in the comments, for example, and it just gives me more fresh ideas. My second tip is to create content where you can show that you're an approachable expert. Use your knowledge, use your experience to show your audience that they can trust you. They can see that you know exactly what you're talking about. They'll know to come to you because you have the answers and you've done all the work. They just want the result or the solution, for example. And again, this is just a great way for you as a content creator to just feel a bit more confident and excited about your own ability to create interesting, exciting content. And that leads me to tip 3. Think about, this is how I can help. Creating content for your audience to imagine an ideal day or what their life could be like once you give them this solution. Use an example as a coach. I could create a piece of content that starts with, imagine you had everything in your life right now. What would that look like? Think about your day. Think about where you wake up. Think about where you go to work. Think about what you look like. What does it feel like to go see friends when everything is going right for you? What does it feel like when you look to the future, when you have everything? I know that's not your reality right now, but it could be. Listen to what I can help you with and go from there. So I hope you found this video interesting, helpful. I really hope it's made things easier for you in terms of creating your content and thinking of new ideas, and also just finding really helpful keywords that are already out there waiting to be used in the search engine. I've decided to split the video into 2 parts, so there will be another one coming, and that will be based on how to use the algorithm to your advantage and how to really set yourself up for success. But in the meantime, let me know how it's gone now that you have the 3 tips and you've brain dumped everything, and then you're going to put them into a coherent strategy as you always have done for your content. And let's see how much more interesting you've made it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.